Teachers who used to tell their students that they won't be carrying around a calculator in their pockets when they're older. How do you feel now? I remember a demonstration about computers when I was in high school, early 1970s. The guy said one day people would all carry small computers around with them. I thought, like, sure, and what are you going to do with it, or why would you need it? The computer demonstration consisted of a large metal case with lights and buttons which could add numbers. Did not even have a graphic display. Lights would come on in a position on a grid representing numbers. As I remember, it could only do like 4-digit numbers. It was about 3 feet square and very industrial looking. No idea who the guy was, or what company, etc. The first computing device I bought just a few years later was a calculator that could add, subtract, multiply and divide. It cost like $70 and was more than twice the size of a pack of cigarettes. $70 would be over $325 in today's money. I am a teacher now in the UK. For years, I have been telling these kids that they need to do this for their GCSEs, that they have to prepare for these tests. The ones they have just cancelled. Those kids will never listen to me again, and the next few years I am going to have to think of a better line. Memorization of basic math facts and practice of the skills needed to solve basic math problems is not a waste. Ever. When they become dependent on their calculators without any understanding of those things, they end up with wildly wrong answers and have no idea that they've done so because they press a wrong button and don't realize that the value on the screen is implausible. Further, with knowledge of math facts, many problems can be done so quickly in one's head, that pulling his phone out and opening the calculator app takes longer. Got to college and my accounting teacher told us, I don't care if you have to count on your fingers if you get the right answer, and the first time I've ever heard a teacher say that. She was well aware, especially in accounting, one will always have a calculator and it's okay to use it for simple addition. Better to have the right numbers than to make a stupid mistake. Punching in 5 plus 7 just to be sure. As a student whose teacher said this often, I don't think the moral victory is there. The challenge that the comment stems from is, why do I have to learn math? The real answer is that our world works through math. The entire economy and world of business works through math. Science, technology, art, cooking, cleaning, construction, everything requires a certain level of mathematical proficiency. And, while it's lovely to have tools like calculators, unless you understand the concepts governing the programming of these tools and have the number sense to do basic mathematics in your head, you will use them in the wrong way. Adults who did not learn math do not know how to use the calculators in their pockets for much more than simple addition and subtraction, and whether they realize it or not, this is a big problem. I'm sure no teachers are losing sleep at night because they did not accurately predict the inclusion of calculator apps on smartphones. I think they're just sad that the people who don't have any idea how math works think they've won something. Working for a Big 4 company. Main job, audit and taxes. Still have my Casio in my backpack. Excel is good for evidence. A quick Casio calculator was showing the numbers, priceless. I used to teach basic numeracy to construction workers aged 16-30, and the amount of mistakes they made with calculators made my hair go prematurely gray. Having a calculator is fine, but if you don't have the basic understanding to estimate whether your number is okay or way off, it's totally useless. My math teacher would tell us the opposite. He'd say, would you really want an anesthesiologist to be doing the math on a paper or using a calculator? This is a scary thought. They're still right on principle. You can't exactly use a calculator without knowing the foundation for the questions you need to ask to get to the answer you're looking for. My friend, let me tell you about the wonders of Wolfram Alpha. You kind of can. Mathematica allows you to basically put most problems in verbatim from the prompt and will 99% of the time spit out a right answer. Calculators with symbolic manipulation can solve algebraic equations, derivatives, and integration with little to no understanding of the principles behind them. There are even some programs that allow you to take a picture of your homework and will solve it for you. Not a teacher, although I did give lectures in a mathematics-related course in university. The problem I see with people that rely solely on their calculators, smartphones etc. is, that they have no general feel or common sense when it comes to mathematics. This leads to them making mistakes due to mistyping, which everyone does once in a while, that are easily recognizable for someone who at least thinks a little bit about what he or she is doing. Common examples would be 13 by 5 equals 715, entered an extra 5. Minus 100, 4 equals 25, forgot the sign. Being able to at least estimate a ballpark range of the result and knowledge about some general mathematic rules is a valuable skill to have. Not just for school, university, but also in your everyday life. Not a teacher, of course. But, while I always knew it was a BS excuse, reason even 30-ish years ago, nothing would have stopped adult me from carrying around a standard calculator, even not taking into account the ubiquitous tablet, phone calculators we now have, and I had no idea what existed back then. I understood the purpose behind it, and appreciated it. I know how to do fairly complex math in my head because of teachers like that. Now, I may pull out a calculator from time to time, if I am not feeling well, or very tired, or just want to make absolutely 110% certain this one thing is perfectly calculated, but I can usually give people an answer to random math problems which really come up in everyday life, at the store, at work, even just talking to friends about random stuff, faster than they can pull out their device with a calculator on it, much less input the problem and finally get an answer. And, it is not because I am some savant, or genius. Nor did I really put all that much effort into learning math tricks and secrets. I just did the normal junior high and high school workloads without relying on a calculator. Had my 7th grade math teacher tell me that, 1981, proceeded to wave my Casio watch with calculator is his face. I have one on my arm now. Do you think technology is going to go backwards? 2 weeks of detention was so worth it. I'm sure they're not bothered by it. Teachers can't predict evolving technology. The phones we have in our hands are more advanced than Star Trek tech, and that's not for another 300-400 years. Mistakes are made and life goes on. Not a teacher, but I think that there is still a huge value in being able to do basic arithmetic in your head, and maybe basic algebra on paper. I'm a lawyer, and definitely don't work in a math-intensive field. But being able to look at a spreadsheet and recognize that a formula is off is incredibly valuable. Same thing with other miscalculations at stores and other places. It's not about getting the right answer, it's a lot about recognizing when I need to check an answer. It's not like I'm going to use a calculator to check math every time I see it. I feel fine. If a dumbass puts the wrong numbers in the calculator, then a dumbass is getting the wrong answer anyway. I've never said that, but hear me out. You got anxiety just to put the change in your wallet while others in the grocery line waiting for you and you're already take the next customer. Now add a calculator to this chaos. Do you think you can type the numbers fast enough? Which hand are you gonna use anyway? Oh, you use credit card? Don't you still need to use both hands for wallet and card? I'm just saying it makes your life easier.
Make sure to like and subscribe for more stories.